Good evening, and welcome to another late night edition of Diatribes from the Voice of Doom. Now here's your grumbling, disgruntled, and invective voice of Doom. Thank you, Mr. Announcer. Notice I have a shot glass today because much as I thought I could probably go a day or two without diatribing, I couldn't because time's growing short. We don't have time, and we can't have this person in office for even a few more days because his capacity for destroying the globe is very infinitesimal. It seems exponential, that each day is way worse than the last. And the repercussions, I'm going to get into a few little details about how I see it. I was inspired by Judge Jeanine Pirro, one of the great people in history, greatest people of all time. I don't understand why she has just a weekend show because it's ridiculous. She should be on every day. And I know she wants to say more, and I can say what she wanted to say. Yeah, he's a bastard. But it's kind of unfair because he doesn't have the capacity to be a bastard. So, I mean, he can atone or he can, take credit for whatever sins he's done in the past. I don't think he knows what he's doing now. So it's kind of, I'm ambivalent about totally calling him an evil antichrist that should be thrown into the pit of hell. But, it's because his mind is gone. Now, there's people behind him that are, yes, the worst satanic devils. They're the epitome of the negative forces in the universe. They're everything that makes things wrong in the universe. They're in the embodiment and the manifestation of evil. And they probably don't even know it. They just are pawns in some bigger scheme because they don't think. They just like the position and power. And, I got to go back to what I did with 2020 and try to figure it all out because things can't be exactly like we're seeing it. We have to do another flow chart, and I didn't even draw a flow chart because I think I can just speak off the cuff, at least as good as anybody else in the media. Now, a decision is made that's totally ridiculous. It's totally backwards. Take out all the troops first and then worry about the people and the allies later. Now, somebody had to come up with that idea. So let's say Let's say Petri dish came up with the idea. Now, it's like, okay, somehow we managed to get you elected president even though you're totally incapable, said either his wife or some close advisors. Now, what do you want to do? Well, my main goal is I've always wanted to end the war in Afghanistan, and it would be great if we could end it before the 9/11 20th anniversary, and then we could have a big gala and talk about how we overcame the Taliban and we overcame the Al-Qaeda and all those terrorists, and we're victors, and it'll be a great celebration for the 20th anniversary of when the two buildings went down. And I knew that if Gore won in 2000, he'd be negotiating with the Taliban to this day. And they're doing exactly what they just wasted 20 years, but they're back to square one negotiating with the Taliban. And Judge Jeanine I know she's on network TV or whatever you call it, cable, or she's on a major outlet that she can only go so far. But I could see in her eyes that she wanted to go farther, much farther. And anybody that's a sentient human being, which there's very few on the planet, I'm afraid, you got to really get with it if you want to be sentient, because you can't just, first of all, you don't even watch my videos. And if you did, you'd realize a lot because I said a lot. And we can't go on. I wanted to give them over the weekend to like Tuesday or Wednesday to get their crap out and move. And I don't care if the entire cabinet, administration, and all the bureaucrats and all the stenographers and all the secretaries and all the anybody. There wasn't even a secretary inside the White House that said, hey, I better leak this to the press. This isn't a very good idea. So they're all guilty. So I don't have any mercy for any of them. And I hope that they have to change their names when they leave their job because they're all part of the evil. Now, okay. Well, Joe says he wants to end the war in Afghanistan before 9/11 anniversary, so let's take him out. Okay. Hello? Yeah. Pull out in 2 days. Yeah. Everybody out. I want Bagram and everything in Afghanistan pulled out in the next couple of days. Okay. Bye. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell England. Don't tell France. Don't tell Australia. Don't tell anybody else that came to our aid and have always come to our aid because we come to other people's aid. So it's a give and take, and we've always had this understanding like, hey, we're on the good team. We're the people that want to help. We're not the people that want to enslave and rape and do genocide to people that don't believe their way. And they blew it. I mean, everybody knows they blew it. Now everybody, including the left, knows they blew it. And I watch a few of these left-wing idiot outlets. CNN's starting to come around. It's too late for them because they've done enough damage. But MSNBC is still doing their trip. And it's like, this is so pathetic. You're actually digging your own pit that you're going to keep on sinking into because you can't keep doing it. You know what this giraffe says? I mean, I thought she was off the air. I don't know why she's still around. And she's on the air saying, Trump had the chance to take a lot of refugees 8 years ago or 7 years ago, and he refused. He refused because we didn't need to take refugees back then. Because Afghanistan's been pretty much under control, and we've been a security force for the last year and a half. And I'm sick of people that are, they have an opinion which they're not allowed to have because they're not informed. It's been a security force that has worked very well. And we have security forces in stupid-ass Japan and stupid-ass Korea and stupid-ass Germany since World War II. Okay? Do you understand? We have thousands more troops in Korea than we've ever had in Afghanistan. And we still have thousands in Germany, like we're trying to protect Germany from what? From East Germany? There is no East Germany. What are we protecting Germany for? Well, we had to have a NATO force in there in case there's some sort of... Come on. That's the last thing Europe needs to do is go back to war again. Yeah, let's have a European war. That makes a lot of sense. Japan, they made a lot of money. They could have their own defense, and we could have a few people there because it is a hot spot. I would have a lot of people over there. I'd take everybody and put them over there because the conflagration's coming. But it's amazing, these delusional fools, I don't know, they might not be human beings. They might be from another planet because they don't understand. They have this network of news propaganda or whatever they call it, and they're like, it's all Trump's fault. It's going to be Trump's fault no matter what happens. It's Trump's fault, Trump's fault. Biden overturned everything Trump did to make this country better and to make us energy dependent. And I can go on and on with Hannity's spiel, but everybody knows that Trump was a good president. And the people that don't know it are just insentient, just partisans. Just like it's not possible that a person that's not a Democrat could be a good president to us. And I've seen it. My dad was that way. He hated Bush. And I said, why do you hate him? I don't know. I just hate him. And it's like, well, My dad was into the AIDS thing in the 80s and 90s because he wanted to help. He was really an AIDS advocate. And I said, George W. Bush has done more for AIDS, aid than any other president. He's like, I don't care. I still hate him. So there's a preternatural feeling, and it has something to do with the whole karmic relationship that we all have with each other. We just hate each other for no good reason. And the reason is we've hated each other for millions of lifetimes, lifetime after lifetime. And that's why there's this unreasonable hatred. But now I have hatred, and I have reason to have hatred because Judge Jeanine was way too soft on him. He is something that has to be expunged. He is a virus. He is a bacteria. He needs to be sprayed with some ammonia or bleach and wiped. And along with that, we got to take everybody out with him. And I'm not saying take out. I'm saying they got to go. And they're going to start going because the pressure is going to be too big because the atrocities are going to come soon. And they're not going to get out in time. They're not going to get Americans out. There's Americans stuck all over the place. It's going to be a total fiasco. Not only that, but I'm listening to some other sources and I'm hearing just from regular talk radio. It's not like it's in some conspiracy thing. It's like a lot of people in the State Department are agreeing, no matter what their political stripe, that there's thousands of terrorists that have infiltrated the U.S. due to this incompetence on the other side of the border that nobody wants to even talk about now because we're too busy talking about his other fiasco. So they all have to go. End of story. I don't want to see him anymore. I don't want to give him till Friday because we could be destroyed by then. At the rate he's going, Afghanistan's going to blow up. There's going to be an altercation. There's going to be a misunderstanding. There's going to be a flare-up of tempers. There's going to be a lot of bloodshed and bullet fire, and we're going to be right back where we started in a war, not a security, operation where we're backing up and they have the confidence that we're behind them. They were high all the time. Don't you watch the news? The Afghanis live in Afghanistan. They're high on heroin. They grow poppy. Don't you know what happened to the Aztecs when the damn stupid... Why do you think the Spaniards took over in South America? Because all the damn freaking Aztecs were high on cocaine. They had the coca plants. And they all had them stuffed in their cheeks. You don't look at history really like how it really happened. These Afghani soldiers, not only are they... I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying that they're high all the time. And I would be too. But they're not just high, but they have rituals. They have their own customs. And their customs include things that to America would be anathema. And we had to put up with it. I don't want to go into detail. But it has to do with sex, and it has to do with same sex, and they talk about how they're, anti-gay and stone the gays, but at the same time, they do their own little kinky things on the side, and they think it's okay, because they have their own set of rules. And their own set of rules might say, hey, we've given them enough time, let's just start firing up into the air and scare the shit out of everybody and start a whole big ruckus, just because we're in charge now, and we just feel like doing it for fun. I don't even think I said anything. I just ranted, which is my wont. But thanks, Judge Jeanine. I really enjoyed your rant. I think you and I are kind of alike. You'll never see my video, but we are alike. But we'll talk one day, maybe. Anyway, I want to leave it at that. And my rant is over, so have what you can do to have a reasonably survivable night. Thanks, everybody. Good night.